Good Thursday morning. This is 106.1 KYVZ. Joe Vazurek visiting with Ag meteorologist Chris Romick at Decision Weather Now, as well as America's Weather streaming channel. Chris, most temperatures primarily, I guess, in the 60s this morning.
Yeah, Joe, today we're going to see a quick weather change. We got an upper level trough that is moving through here today, and it'll head off towards the Great Lakes tomorrow and Saturday, and that'll put us in some split flow between that exiting upper level trough and low pressure that'll be over to the north and east, and a rebuilding ridge out to the west. So we'll have a couple pretty decent days here. We got I think everybody wants to know if we're going to get any rain, and it looks like we kind of missed our shot last night. It all stayed out in Colorado when it got to the Colorado-Kansas line, and it dissipated and fell apart. We do have one more batch that's out there this morning. We got showers and a few rumbles of thunder that are extending now from Idalia all the way just to the north of Lamar, Colorado. That stuff is going to work its way to the border here this morning and across, but it is getting into drier air with the northwesterly winds pulling that drier air out ahead of it. So it's going to start falling apart and become light, and maybe some sprinkles and light showers, and they're talking maybe a tenth to 25 hundredths of precipitation at the most, and mostly that heavier stuff will be along that Kansas-Colorado border. However, that will leave clouds through much of the day and low, cooler temperatures. Like you said, we are starting out in the 60s. They're pretty much uniform across the board. We got 61 in Burlington, Hill City, Oakley, Colby, and Norton, and we got that northwest breeze at around 10 miles per hour. Daytime temperatures will top out in the upper 70s. We'll have some breaks in the sun late in the afternoon. That may get us to 80 degrees. When those skies clear out tonight, those lows will drop to around 50. So we'll have a lower 50s to start our morning tomorrow. That'll be kind of chilly. We'll warm up in the afternoon to around 83 degrees as those winds turn to a south-southwesterly direction at 5 to 15 miles per hour. As we head towards the weekend, it'll continue to keep warming. That high-pressure ridge will build out to the west. We're going to go high of 84 on Saturday, heading towards 88 to near 90 on Sunday. And then looking ahead to next week, that 90-degree heat will be with us, and it looks like maybe the entire week. That ridge of high pressure will shift eastward, be centered over the high plains in central U.S. on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's when we expect that 90 to 95-degree heat to be in place. Overnight lows will be in the upper 50s and lower 60s, and we'll continue with those southerly winds at 10, 15 miles per hour. Then we got another upper-level trough and starting to break that ridge down Thursday and Friday out west on the western slope of the Rockies. It does look like it'll cut off and then meander through the northern plains over the weekend. That's what we need to keep our eyes on, is to see what that does. If it does cut off, move slow and further south, that'll increase our chances for rain and precipitation over the weekend, bring those temperatures back down into the 80s, but that's still above normal for this time of year. But we'll take those 80s and chances for rain potentially in the end of our extended forecast out there 14, 15 days out. And it does look like on the long-range models is that we may see a couple more of those troughs coming from the northwest over the second half of the month of September, and that would be more indication that we'd have increased chances for precipitation. But it does look like it's going to be bone dry through next week if we don't catch anything this morning, which it doesn't look like it'll be very much. And we're going to be waiting for precipitation towards the middle of the month. Hopefully the pattern will change.
Once again, that's Chris Romick at Decision Weather Now, as well as America's Weather streaming channel for 106.1 KYVZ. I'm Joe Vazurek.